We'd like to thank everybody today for joining us as we discuss a retailer's guide to PPC marketing. We're going to be focusing in on tactics and strategies for boosting online sales. As we know, we're going into the fourth quarter of the year, and this is the big time to get out of the red. My name is Noelle Baylor, and I'm the Partner Marketing Manager here at WordStream. We also have our partners from Freestyle Solution on the line. Freestyle is a cloud-based inventory and management solution that automates and syncs your inventory orders to customers and sales across all of your channels. So we thank you guys for being on the line. I know both of our audiences are here today, and we're excited to kick this off. Presenting today, we have Margot. Margot works for us here at WordStream. Feel free to say hi, Margot.
Hey guys, I'm super excited to be here today.
Margot was actually voted one of the top 25 most influential PPC experts out there for 2015. So she's jam-packed this session with tons of tactical strategies for boosting sales. Margot, is there anything you wanted to say about yourself to our people on the line?
Sure. So I've been at WordStream for about 2 years now. I'm doing paid search for about 3, and it's definitely a fun industry to be in. And I thought I would make a relevant fun fact to the topic today, which is that my favorite thing to shop for is actually food. Even as a little kid, I would beg my mom to take me with her to the grocery store, and I still love going food shopping, which I know is a task that a lot of people dread. So that's kind of a funny, fun fact to share with you guys today.
Awesome. Thanks, Margot. And we want to learn a little bit about you guys. So I do have a poll together. If you guys who are on the line want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves, we want to know how long you guys have worked in the retail or e-commerce space. Is it 1 year, 2 to 5 years, or over 5 years? Wow, and the results are staggering. So far, about 71% of our people on the line have worked in this space for about 2 to 5 years, which makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and hand it back over to Margot so that she can give you all the tips and tricks for this retail webinar today.
Awesome. Thanks, Noelle. And thanks to our partners. We're really excited to be working with Freestyle Solutions. I want to start off by talking a little bit about, shopping behavior nowadays. 81% of shoppers conduct online research before they make a purchase. So this just shows you how important it is to have a strategy for selling online. 60% of people begin shopping by using a search engine to find the products they want. So this means that most people are starting their shopping journey either on Google, Bing, or some other search network. And I know that personally, I start my shopping journey online always on Google. It's just kind of a habit that I've gotten into, whether it be like comparing different brands or prices. I typically start to conduct that research through Google. The problem is that retail PPC is not easy. Succeeding with paid search, especially in the retail space, can be super challenging because of how black and white it is. You either make a sale or you don't. And I had to include this image that I thought was so funny, just showing, they're getting her credit card declined. Pretty hilarious. All right, something pretty interesting is that retailers spent 47% more on Google shopping ads than they did a year ago. So that's something I'm going to really dive into today, is some tips and tricks to really optimize your Google shopping ad campaigns. Really increasing that really hot spot where marketers are seeing a lot of return. But before we dive in, there is a fundamental difference between shopping ads versus search ads. So let's take a look. Visually, you can see how they compare here. The shopping ads, of course, are that smaller arrow that's pointing to those image ads. So those give you the image of the product, the price point, the brand. You can click through the website and make that purchase. The ads below, those are your typical search ads that you see all the time on the SERPs, the search engine results page. And they basically have information about your website, your brand, your product, whatever it is that you're trying to promote there. One question we get all the time is, what's the difference in terms of, getting profit and branding and whatnot, like what's better for what. So I wanted to go over the benefits for both here. Shopping ads are typically really good to see a quick and easy return. You have the product right there, the image of the product, the price point, the brand. You have all the information at your fingertips. So you know that if people are clicking through, they're much more likely to make a purchase because they can already see visually what the product looks like and they have the price point at the tip of their fingers. With search, it's a little bit different. Search ads are typically much better for branding. You can include a lot more, text and information in there. And it's also better for creating returning buyers. And you can include a lot more additional information by linking to different pages through site link extensions, things of that nature. The question is, which one should I use? The answer to that is definitely use both. Find out which channel works best for your business. And like I said, they both have their unique benefits. So having a combination of both is really going to be your best bet. All right, so now I'd like to dive right into some shopping ad pro tips. First, what you want to do, if you're brand new to shopping ads and you haven't even, gotten these set up yet, you're going to need to set up a merchant account. You can do this directly through Google. If you just Google merchant account Google, it'll take you directly to the page where you can get started with that. From there, you're going to need to upload your product with a data feed. And after that, you can just jump right in and create your shopping campaign in AdWords. Luckily, over the years, Google has really made this pretty automated, and they're very good at kind of detecting what your products are and how to categorize them. So a lot of the setup that you have to do in search is not as present in shopping. So let's dive into the first pro tip that I have for you all today. And the first one is that you want to separate your shopping campaigns by priority. So the way that you do this is then go into the settings, then into your shopping settings, click on advanced, and then you can actually set a campaign priority. So this basically tells Google, this campaign is either really important to me, it's somewhat important to me, or it's of very high importance. And the reason you want to do this is because you, of course, want to put a higher focus on the products that you know sell best. It all makes sense, right? You also want to make sure that you group your products based on their value. So when you first set up your shopping campaign, Google is going to just pull everything into one campaign, but you actually have the control to separate your products by how much you value them in terms of ROI. So for instance, you wouldn't want to be selling USB cords in the same campaign as television because you're going to get a much higher return when you sell a television. But most likely, you'll want to have a higher budget for your television since they're going to yield much more of a profit. Moving right along to pro tip number 2, to ensure that your price points are competitive. So like I said with shopping ads, they're so visual. You have the price point right at your fingertips. You do not want to be advertising a really high-end, expensive product next to a bunch of advertisers who are, selling their products for like $10 to $20. The reason is the chances of your products getting purchased when they're aligned with all those other products at better prices is very slim to none. So make sure if your competitors are, say you're selling picture frames, if your competitors are advertising all of their 8x10s on the search results page, you don't want to be showing like a 24x24 because it's just not going to be competitive. The price point is just, it's not going to align and users are not going to click through. The next thing you want to do is use Google's ad preview and diagnosis tool. So this is a good way you compete with them without giving yourself false impressions. So this tool is completely free. As you can see here, I just typed in prom dress and it led me to the search results page of what would result in that search. So you can see not only the search ads, but also the shopping ads, and then compare how you're doing against your competitors. The next tip is you need to do a lot to stand out against your competition. This is so important. Like I said, competition is a major problem within the shopping industry. So what can you do to stand out? There's a few things that you can do that really will set you ahead of the game. One of them is make sure that you have product ratings. 88% of consumers say that they trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. That is huge. So you want to make sure that you're showing online reviews, because if you're not, people are going to be way less likely to buy your product. They want to know what other people are saying about your product. The way you can do this is you need to have at least 50 reviews from a Google-approved review aggregator. And as you can see, I included a screenshot of all the different aggregators that are approved by Google. You can also send in a special request if you have reviews on another site. But I recommend, getting those 50 reviews, making an initiative for your company if you don't have those product reviews yet. And if you are interested in having these tied to your ads and they're not automatically being tied to them, make sure to use that link included in there, and you can fill out that product ratings interest form to get started with that. The next thing you should do to stand out against your competition is become a Google trusted store. I cannot state how incredible this is for your business and how easy it is to do. All you have to do is go to that site listed below, google.com/retail/trusted stores, fill out the application, and you can get this badge, which really proves to your customers that they can trust you. They know that they're not buying from a scammy site. This is so important because, of course, that's a concern for shoppers, and you want to build that trust. So this is an easy way to build that trust right from the SERP through your shopping ads. You can see I'm pointing to an ad that has the little the little icon showing that they're a trusted store. The next thing you want to do to build that trust and stand out against your competitors is run Google Merchant Promotions. So these are so incredible because they show that special offer, and of course someone is going to be much likely to buy from you if you have a special offer, whether it be free shipping or a discount or a limited time sale. You want to show those promotions with that little tag. You can see in the highlighted box right at the top. I know it's a little bit small, but you'll see that special offer tag, and when you hover over that with your mouse, that little box appears that says free shipping on orders over $100, and they give you that little code. So you feel like you're getting a deal. It kind of incentivizes your shoppers to take action. So definitely make sure to include these merchant promotions. And you can do that by visiting that interest form at the bottom of the page. So services.google.com/fb/form/merchant promotions form. Visit there. Make sure you get these set up today. They're really going to make a huge difference. All right, so now let's dive right into some search ad pro tips. So we don't want to forget about the search network. Like I said, it's really great for branding, creating returning buyers, which a lot of the times for people in the e-commerce business is more important than first-time buyers and people who are actually coming back to your site. So first, I want to talk about structuring your account. The first tip I have is that you want to structure your account based on the navigation of your site and the product grouping. This is really important within search because you are going to need to be making tweaks to your search campaigns, probably even more regularly than your shopping. It's a little bit less automated. So to make it really easy for yourself, especially with I know a lot of you probably have thousands and thousands of products, huge inventories. Structuring your campaigns well will make your life so much better. So first, you're going to have your AdWords account. Then under there, you're going to have different campaigns. Under each campaign, you'll have a subset of ad groups, which is where you group your keywords together. So you want a semantically related group of keywords that then direct to your ad text and then to your landing pages. So I know this sounds a little bit confusing, so I did include a bit.ly link at the bottom here. Make sure to visit that link if you need more information on how to structure your account. It will give you some really helpful tips and tricks and help you better understand account structure if you're new to the search, if you're new to the search network. One example I have here of how to structure your account based on site navigation. This is one of my favorite brands, Rent the Runway, and they did it really well. So what they have here is their website is structured. You can see on the Unlimited tab, they have different campaigns for new arrivals, dresses, tops and bottoms, outerwear, jumpsuits, accessories. So then when inventory changes or they need to make a change in the way their site is structured, they can easily do that. They know where everything is. It's easy to find. Then let's dig into a campaign. So under the campaign, dresses, you can see it's structured almost identical to how the site is structured. So you have ad groups for your most popular, ad groups for gowns, ad groups for cocktail dresses, an ad group for nights out, an ad group for daytime, and then an ad group for plus size. You get the gist. So it kind of models that build of the website. Pro tip number 2 is to increase your credibility and clickability of your ad copy with numbers. So we've done a lot of ad testing here at WordStream, and we always find that ads with numbers, especially in the retail and e-commerce industry, drastically exceed click-through rates than ones that don't have numbers. So I love this quote from Unbounce's Jonathan Dane. Numbers are easy to digest and understand. Sorry, one second. And studies show that incorporating them into your ad copy can make it appear more accurate and credible. So definitely make sure that you're utilizing numbers. I know this seems like an obvious tip, but I can't understate how important it is. And a pro hack here is that you should actually experiment with ad customizers. Ad customizers are basically parameters that you can insert into your ads, and they do a lot of the work for you. So if you have a limited time sale that's ending soon, or maybe a reoccurring event or a one-time event, whatever it is, you can insert these customizers. Will basically count down to that event or that sale, and they enforce that sense of urgency to really inspire people to purchase from you. This is so incredible, like how well these work. They've been around for about a year, and everyone I know who's experimented with them just loves them because they work so well, and they take a lot of that, slow process of like going in and changing your ads on a regular basis. They do it all for you. This is so important in the e-commerce industry, of course, because you have so many products that you're selling. All right, so now I want to talk about some things that actually apply to search, shopping, and other marketing channels within retail and e-commerce. And that's the importance of seasonality. So understanding your seasonal peaks, this is by far one of the most important things, whether it be for paid search or any other digital marketing channel that you're using. And how can you ready yourself for the holidays? So what you really want to do is start off by analyzing your past holiday trends. So dig into the data and analytics. See, when was there a spike in clicks or conversions? When was there the most traffic coming into my site? Was I, actually converting more people during these times, or was I not? Is there kind of something that you're missing that you're not doing that you should be doing to get yourself ready for the holidays? We found at WordStream, this makes sense, that Q4 is a prime time for most advertisers. Of course, this is when, the most popular holidays are hitting, and people are getting ready to do, their Christmas shopping or Hanukkah shopping or whatever it is, whatever holidays your customers are celebrating. You want to make sure that you're ready for this. You should also be building ads and landing pages for these seasonal peaks. You should be running like special deals or special ads, landing pages that are seasonally relevant that really appeal to the people who are shopping. And a great way to kind of automate this process a little bit is to use labels to easily pause and unpause seasonal ads. So this is done through the search network. You can label your different ads, and then you can group them together to easily pause and unpause them year after year. Also, really make sure to reallocate your budget during these times. You want to, of course, have a higher budget leading up to a big for your industry like Christmas. You want to make sure to yield back after that's done. Sometimes the most challenging part can be recovering from the holidays. So make sure that you properly allocate your budget to get the best return possible. What if you're unsure of your seasonal peaks? Of course, it's different for every industry. If you're selling Halloween candy, it's obviously going to be Halloween that's your seasonal peak, but it might not be super obvious for every company. If it's not obvious for you, go into Google Trends. In Google Trends, you can type in any keyword you want and see when it was trending during what times of the year and even within what location. So Google.com Trends is a great resource. All right, so now I want to wrap up by bringing everything together. The way that we do that is returning buyers. Before, in e-commerce and retail, I'm sure you all know this all too well, but sometimes your most important focus can be creating these returning buyers. And a powerful way to do that is through remarketing. So how does remarketing work? Basically, when someone visits your website, you can follow them around the internet with your product that they viewed. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, and I'm going to talk about all the different ways, but I just wanted to show this one example here. I was looking at this sweater, looking to kind of build out my winter wardrobe, so I was looking for a nice warm sweater that I could wear all year round, and I was looking at the Beta Brand's website, and I came across this really nice sweater, but I was kind of in a rush, didn't really have time to think about purchasing. So I went on Facebook later that night, and I see this sweater again, and I was like, okay, it's meant to be. Even though I knew that they were remarketing to me, I purchased the sweater because I was like, why not? You know, I need this sweater. But they kind of reminded me that I looked at the sweater already. I was already interested. You know, why not take a look again? And it worked. So it definitely works. It works on me far too often. All right, so what are the different types of remarketing you can do? The first one is all visitors. So this is anyone who visits your site, anyone who's visited any page, taken any action, whatever it is. Typically, if you're going to set up an all visitors campaign, I'd recommend targeting your brand ads. So, you know, getting your name out there, not going after any specific product since you're not targeting a specific action. Then you can also target product categories. So this is so helpful, especially for people in the retail industry. I think everyone should be doing this. It's basically what I showed you earlier of them showing me the sweater that I already looked at. So if you can use this by your URL containing the same category name. The next thing you can do is actually upsell shoppers who have already converted. So you can target people that have already converted with specific ads. Like if they bought, let's say, shoes, maybe you know that they're likely to buy shoelaces or something of that nature. But think about, you know, how your consumers shop. When they buy one item, do they typically need another item? Then follow them around with ads that are upselling them that item. It makes sense, right? Abandoned shopping carts. So people who are like me, what I do all the time, I fill shopping carts up, and then I get distracted by, you know, my roommate or Instagram or whatever it is, and I abandon that cart. So then once the person has abandoned that cart, you can actually follow them around with ads saying, hey, are you still interested? You put this in a cart. Don't you want to purchase it? Something of that nature. And then also certain time periods after purchase. So things like razors, where, you know, if you run out, you purchase 3 razors, maybe those typically last about 3 to 4 months. When that time period is close to coming to a close, remind your shoppers, hey, you're about to run out of razors. Don't forget to purchase these items. Just remind them that they bought from you and they liked that, so they should keep buying from you. All right, so thank you guys so much. I'm going to hand it back over to Noelle, who's going to launch a poll for you guys, and then I'll field some questions.
Great. So thank you so much, Margot. That was an awesome session. We've put together some special offers for our attendees. One second here. So Freestyle Solutions has put together an e-commerce report. If you're interested in getting a copy of this, you can select it from the poll. And then we are also offering at WordStream an AdWords assessment. So if you guys are gearing up for the holidays and you really want somebody to kind of run through your AdWords account and give you some strategic guidance on maybe how you could improve or what you might want to change before the holiday season, feel free to check us out. We'll take the time to walk you through all of those things and really give you a bang-up idea of how you could improve before you head into mid-October, which is so crazy. It's upon us, right? But you know, we're excited, and I think that both items are definitely something that you're going to want to take away today. I'll give everybody just a second here. And just, I'm getting some questions in about if this session is going to be recorded. It is indeed recorded. Gratefully, we'll be sending that out to everybody after the session. As long as you guys had registered, you'll definitely be in our bucket to get a recording. So no worries there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. Awesome. And so I'll open it up for questions. I had some questions come in the line. If anyone else has more questions, feel free to shoot them into the question box here. Margot, so you talked a lot about the retail space and shopping. Do you have any strategies for people that might work in the service industry, maybe like for restaurateurs or anybody like that? Maybe it's gift cards, or what kind of ideas do you have if you're that type of industry and you're trying to gear up for the holidays? Is there anything specific you recommend?
Sure. So if you're like in the travel industry or similar industries like that, I think you definitely want to, you can actually kind of repurpose some of the strategies I talked about, but of course, maybe shopping is not as relevant for you. What you want to do there is really focus on like a search strategy. How can you make your ads like speak to, people who are looking to give a gift? Whether that be like a vacation for their anniversary or things of that nature. So thinking of ways that you can make it like relevant to that time of year for your searchers, and putting a real focus on like using site link extensions. What I actually really recommend for travel agencies and service industries is using call-only campaigns, because calls are typically really important for these businesses. And what those do, you can set those up through AdWords. And basically, they take out an entire stage of the funnel. It's actually incredible. So they replace the headline of your ad with a phone number. And instead of someone clicking to go to your website, they actually click and call you directly. So you get rid of that leaky landing page and get them right on the phone. And this is really going to spur more conversions. We've actually found that calls yield 3 times more conversions than clicks to a website. So definitely try out those call-only campaigns.
Great. And then
there's a really good post on our blog. If you just look up travel marketing tips, something of that nature, like 10 tips for travel marketers, which would really apply a lot to service industries as well. So definitely check out that post.
Awesome. So Margot, one other question that came up is, you talked a lot about remarketing strategies. Is there a time frame that you should switch up your ads? Should you change them every month? Should you look at them weekly? What are your thoughts on how often you should change your ads?
Sure. So I usually don't like to give like strict timelines or anything, but definitely, seasonality is important. So like knowing your seasonal peaks and having ads that are relevant to those are always kind of good times to switch things up. Really always be testing. I think that's really important. It's something that people either ignore or they don't do well. I actually just attended a really great session on ad testing. I'm at a conference this week, but it's definitely an important thing to kind of test out. A lot of the times people are going to see your ads so much that they tend to get a little bit fatigued by them. So what you want to do is like switch background colors, switch the image. We do this all the time with our WordStream ads through Remarketing display, and it really can yield some powerful results. But definitely make sure that you're getting at least a significant amount of data before just swapping things out blindly, and test one element at a time so you're not kind of doing too much to even understand what your results are.
Awesome. So our last question that I'm going to ask on the line is just regarding Facebook. We touched on it a little bit, but are there any specific guidelines you have for Facebook remarketing that might be different from, general website remarketing through the display network?
Sure. So I love Facebook remarketing because there's so much you can do with it. One thing you can do is you can pull in like a list of emails actually, which is really cool, and remarket to people that way. There's a lot of different things you can do, but I definitely recommend kind of layering. With remarketing, you want to layer different demographics. There's so many ad targeting capabilities within Facebook, it's like insane. So make sure to find like your most relevant people, so you're not just retargeting any old schmo. Like you don't want to retarget every single person who visited your site through Facebook, because it will just end up being like too big of a pool. So get more specific with it. Like there's so much, if you know your audience well, there is so much you can do with that. So that's definitely kind of like my main tip for remarketing on Facebook. And then you can also take things to the next level by using lookalike audiences. So taking, people that you've already remarketed to, people who have already converted even, and then finding people who demographically look similar to them and would be more likely to buy your products.
Awesome. And one last question did sneak in that I think is pretty relevant. The user says, being about a small business, I find AdWords extremely overwhelming. What is a realistic daily budget to generate traffic and actually see some conversions?
Sure, definitely. I mean, we hear that all the time from our customers at WordStream because being a small business, it is really overwhelming for sure. So I understand like why you would have budget concerns, and that can be really difficult to, it's so specific for industry, it can be kind of difficult to determine, but if you're nervous about, spending too much, I recommend definitely starting with like your most high priority campaigns. So things that you really care about selling, but also like learn how to do paid search, learn the ins and outs of it, because if you really learn how to do it, you learn how to bid manually and have that granular control over your account, you're not going to waste money. You're not going to see that ROI. So check out PPC University. It's a resource we have at WordStream. It's completely free. There's a lot of great information in there to kind of get you started on the right foot.
Perfect. So that kind of wraps up our session. Thank you so much, guys, for attending. If you have any questions regarding PPC or WordStream services, feel free to reach out to Margot or myself directly. Like I said, we'll be sending up a follow-up email following this session. And also, we want to give a great thank you to Freestyle Solutions for helping us put everything together today. If you have any concerns with, your retail management and you wanted to kind of look at how you could go from nuts to bolts and manage everything e-commerce related, Freestyle Solutions has a ton of product offerings that can help you to do that. And so again, feel free to reach out to them. All right. That concludes our session today. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
I
guys.
look forward to having you again. Thanks.